The Balance Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone. Yes, it is the Kim Jacobs Show, and I'm so honored to be here today with none other than Carlos Gladden. How are you today, Carlos?
I'm doing well today.
Oh, I am so excited and honored to have you. Some people that you come across in life and you're like, you don't always know why God allows paths to cross, but I just want to say that I'm so honored and privileged to have the opportunity for God to cross our paths. You are a blessing to the world, and I am so honored to have you here on the Kim Jacobs Show today. It's like a dream come true.
And definitely thank you for having me on. Definitely thank you for also having me on the show. Having me on the show also.
It's my honor. Listen, today we're going to be talking to Carlos Gladden, who's going to share with you his story of courage and greatness. You don't want to miss today's episode. You're going to need to probably grab your cloth. You're going to need to tag a few friends of yours and invite them into this virtual studio audience, because this man has a testimony. He has a story to share that has brought him where he is today. And I can't wait for him to be able to share it. So what I'm going to do just to kick this off is to give everyone 30 seconds to go ahead and tag about 10 people. Invite them in today to hear this story from Carlos Gladden about courage and greatness. What did he have to overcome to become who he is today? All right, and everyone, we are back with Carlos Gladden. And Carlos, I know you're a techie kind of guy. I don't want to get into it too much yet, but I know you're all about technology over this. I can imagine that you have about 1,000 screens surrounding you, and I can see your eyes on a constant swivel. You're like, okay, I got that one going, LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live. You're doing it over there because I know how you operate. So I'm excited.
Yes.
Listen, everyone, Carlos Gladden is the owner and founder of 360 Degrees Group. He's also been in technology since his childhood. He is a father and he is a hands-on learner, but also a teacher. And Carlos Gladden, just so you know, has served in ministry very faithfully and has helped with the camera ministry at our church over the years. And he's doing some other things now in life, but I just want to thank him for the wonderful service that he provided for many years to the Rock Worship Center and to Quest Church over the course of every bit of 13 years or longer. So I just want to say thank you personally. I know we're not going to be talking about that throughout today's show that much, but I just want to say personally, from my heart to yours, thank you for your wonderful service.
And it was a pleasure to serve the Lord and also to just serve people. It's all about being a servant.
You truly are a great one. So, Carlos, this interview today is about you. So what I want to do is I want to hear from you. Take us back on your childhood. I really don't even know your story personally from your childhood days. Who is Carlos Gladden? Tell me about your younger years.
My younger years, I was actually a loner. I used to get picked on when I was young. I used to get bullied in school. I didn't have many friends at all. So I was kind of what you call an introvert. So I was kind of like an easy target. And as I got older, I changed. But before my younger years, I was kind of what you call a techie kid. So, I was into I learned how finances work. I had a stepdad at one point. I had a real dad who was out of jail and out of prison. Then I had a stepdad who was out of prison. So it's kind of like the story of by the time I was 15, I was probably on a road headed to prison. I remember going through 6 years of abuse from the time I was 9 to 15 for that period in abuse in the home, especially dealing with domestic violence. And I witnessed every day pretty much, off of knowing. So I kind of chose a path as a kid, what I grew up with, what I was recognized with. So I grew up around violence early on in my life.
So okay, so growing up, you had the only thing that you could see was domestic violence. You saw your dad and your stepdad both end up going to prison. And so what you were witnessing, you thought was automatically going to become your trajectory, your path in life.
I took it on. I became that.
In
Like my
what
mom
ways did you
raised.
become that?
Well, my mom actually took care of me. So my mom used to work through like what? She would work a couple of jobs. She worked a job, so she would be going overnight sometimes. And so I didn't have it so bad like some people did, where I grew up in the country part of Maryland, suburbs, and suburbs we have our own country, we have our own problems, like the city. Where I'm from, we didn't really talk about we don't talk about the next household, so it's not bluntly seen. So in the city, it's like, okay, everybody talks. Well, country, you're not gonna talk so much. You mind your business. And
Right.
so growing up, my mom raised me to be responsible at the age of 8. So I was kind of sheltered as a kid. Like I kind of got my way. I was always quiet. And then when I experienced going to that situation from abuse from my stepdad, and then my real dad, who wasn't really there at all, I took that path on. I said, and it was probably after the molestation when I changed. There was even a point where I denounced the belief in God and Jesus. I denounced there was any God at a young age.
You know what? First of all, I didn't even know you were molested as a child. So that's very, very sad that I've known you for so long and did not know that. So that's important to know that even though we are around people every day, sometimes we don't know their stories. So sometimes we're casting judgment. We're like, oh, why is this, and this is happening? And we don't know what that person has been through, what they've had to endure to become who they are today. And so, Carlos, I'm really saddened to hear that you even had to experience that, because I only know you in the servanthood and the wonderfulness and the joy that you bring to the church and to the atmosphere, and your willingness to serve and help. And you go to great measures to do that. But to hear this part of your story is just enlightening for me personally. So, did anybody help you intervene? What happened whenever you? I know
Mm,
what molestation is, but and I don't want to take you too far down that road. But I'm trying to think of, how did you end up getting out of that situation? Did somebody come to your rescue? Can you tell us?
my mom had let a gentleman who was gay stay in the house. So he was gay, stay in the house. And what happened was she was trying to help him out, I guess. So I was like probably 12, 13 years old, I'm at 13 years old. And I was probably, and I was, like I said, before that time, I was sheltered. So I wasn't really exposed to a lot of stuff growing up. And as a kid, sometimes when you're not exposed to things are different. So when it happened was she helped try to help somebody out. And I guess she didn't expect it to happen. So for a whole summer it happened. And then when I finally told my mom what was happening, she found out. That's when I was almost taken away from my mom too, because social services got involved in Maryland. And I was kind of blessed where I had nephews who got in the system of foster care. I was kind of blessed to stay with my mom. But that's also the period where my life went downhill. Because
Okay.
I never understood how people was back then. So that's when my life went downhill. So even though when people talk about things, it's like You got people who take advantage of children from all hours. Doesn't matter whether it's ministry, doesn't matter what community you're part of.
But your mom didn't know. She didn't know.
She didn't know.
But it was happening because it was happening whenever your mom wasn't around. And so it was happening.
Correct.
So after this commercial break, because I need to take a break for a second. After this commercial break, I would like for you to tell us what was a turning point of you getting the help that you need to get free from that situation. Did he leave? Did he just go on about his business? I'd like for you to tell us. Don't tell us until after this commercial break. I see all of your comments coming in. I don't take any of these comments for granted. I see you, the amazing Mr. Archer. You're saying amen. You can relate, Sabrina. I see you saying you can relate to what Carlos went through. Harris, I see your comment. I got you. Sabrina shared on your GT page. And thank you so much for doing that. Oh, I see my brother, Javon Jackson. I know he heavily works with your team as well. And I'm proud of him with his media expertise with your team. What's up, Carlos? Thanks for your courage to share your story. And thank you so much.
Thank you, definitely thank you, Javon, and everybody.
Yes. Sabrina said, good morning, Kim and Carlos. Courage and greatness. So listen, when we come back after this commercial break, we're going to learn more from Carlos Gladden about his journey on courage and what has brought him to the great man that he is today. So as you all know, one of our episode sponsors is none other than the Snow Legal Group. Now, the Snow Legal Group, I want you to know specifically that they work with you in a lot of different areas, but one area in particular is personal injury. And I know I personally didn't even know that that was one of their main specialties. So all of us have either experienced some type of personal injury or we know people that have experienced personal injury and they're looking for a great attorney. Attorney Kenneth D. Snow's office, you can reach them at 704-358-0026, or you can email them at info@snowlegal.com and let them know when you do call that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. We're going to learn more about the Snow Legal Group, and we'll be right back with this courageous man, Carlos Gladden, right after this commercial break.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone. And we are back right now with Carlos Gladden. Carlos, tell us specifically how you escaped from that abuse.
I think I told my mom one day what was happening because I thought something wasn't right. Because first when it happened, I was kind of scared because I was small. Because I used to be frail. I wasn't as bold. Growing up, I wasn't as bold as I was now. So I was easy to pick on. I got bullied in school a lot. I was very small framed too.
Well, you're still small framed now. So I mean, I'd imagine
but the boldness of me is a little different.
Oh, I can tell you're a giant. I don't care about your pot, your physical appearance. You that boldness is there now, right?
Yes, and so before I was easy, like I said, I was easy, naive, didn't understand a lot of things, wasn't really known to the world, and so in reality, went on for a whole summer, and then then after I told mom something wasn't right, somehow when I told her, she found out, she dealt with it differently.
Okay.
So of course, it got reported and it was brought up and everything, and of course, she told him to leave, and I don't know what happened after that in that situation. It was just a situation where I learned from where there are a lot of people who go through that process and they never actually go the straight way. They end up crossing paths after they've been taken advantage of as a child.
What advice, because this is probably a good point to ask. right now, what advice would you give to young people that were like yourself? You're innocent, you're being taken advantage of. What advice would you give to young people? And then what advice would you give to parents? If you can give dual advice right now, what would you give?
The advice I would give the young kids is that we don't control what happens to us, and we can't get mad at what happened. We can't get mad what happens to us, because that's life. The other person has gone through a process, and we have to learn how to. We have to. I didn't get help until probably later on, but we have to seek help early on as children. We have to. Sometimes as children, we have to ask for help ourselves.
Mhm.
We can't wait for the parent to ask for help.
That's good.
Because if we wait for the parent to ask for help, it might be 10 years before you even get help, and you done went down the wrong path after that. And that's what happened to me. And then for parents, when that happens, protect your children. Fight for them. Make sure you get all the help they need, and deal with the matter as it should be dealt with. And also make sure you check people who they are before you allow them near your children.
And how do parents even know that this person is going to do that to their child? You can't. How do you ever predict that?
You don't know. That's the point, though. Let's be honest. All through the years, I know about demasculation of the youth, especially young people. The innocence taken away when you molest children. You take the innocence away from them. You mess their minds up. It's a spiritual thing. And once a child is tempered spiritually at a young age, after their experience, it messes with their minds. It exposes their mind to things that they were exposed to, which means that they end up growing up too fast because their mind is messed up now. You can't trust. You scar them. Now it's hard for them to let close. And when now for me growing up, I blocked people from getting close to me for years. Even knowing you in the past or now, I didn't allow people to get close to me like that. Like I was like, y'all cool, but I gotta keep you at a distance because I don't know if I can trust you because it's kind of hard for me to trust now. It's hard for me to trust now. People trust now.
Well, I hope you trust me.
I trust y'all. I trust you.
Because I trust you.
Experience. But when that happened to me, I didn't get help. I denounced any belief in God or Jesus at 13 years old. I sat in the sky, so I denounced anything belief in God. I went to my darker self. Wow. I became remorseless, heartless. I pretty much had no soul for years.
Okay. Whoa.
So that's how far I went for me.
Wow. I am so glad from where God has brought you from, Carlos, because I did not know this. Okay, so listen, everybody. We're talking with Carlos Gladden, a story of courage and greatness. And anybody watching today, you can relate, pull out a piece of what he's going to be sharing, and I can tell you, you're going to be able to have a better life at the end of this episode. So if you want to come onto the screen directly and encourage Carlos, share a comment, or you want to ask a question, definitely feel free to use that link that I've put in the comment section, and you can come right on. I see you. The amazing Mr. Archer said that he's going through the same trust issues right now himself. And the reason that he said that he's going through them is because he said that, I hate to say it, but I was bullied as well. Unfortunately, the only way it stopped was when I almost killed a classmate.
Actually, the true fact is I almost took 2 lives at the age of 12 after being bullied with my bare hands. And the bad part, it didn't bother me. After they bullied me, it didn't bother me at all. And the point when it comes to a point you're almost about to take a life with your bare hands is when your life changes. Not with a gun, your bare hands. It's when your life changes. Because then you learn the value of human life at its highest level. And that's what bullying does. It causes you to take a life which changes forever, and you can never go back to the same innocence anymore.
Mm, 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 mm. Listen, everybody, Mr. Archer, I'm so grateful that you did not take that person's life because you're here today doing amazing creative work with your balloon ministry. I believe it's a balloon ministry because you're able to create all kinds of creative caricatures with your hands. So your hands, instead of taking a life, became hands that were skilled to be able to bless children and young adults around the world. So thank you, Mr. Archer, the amazing Mr. Archer. If you ever want a balloon creation of some sort, reach out to the amazing Mr. Archer and he's gonna blow your mind. I can promise you that. Okay, Ernetta Caldwell, I see you. You said hello and glad to have you on. I see you, Justine Hilliard, and you're tagging some people. Thank you so much for doing that. Carlos, wow. People, first of all, I want you to know you can stay connected with Carlos Gladden, and he is the CEO at 360 Degrees Group. And his email is gladdenbusinessgroup@gmail.com. Gladdenbusinessgroup@gmail.com. Make sure that you stay connected with him and hear more of his story. Carlos, I know that you've gone through a lot of physical ailments throughout your adult years. Talk to us about some pieces of that made you even to the point where you are so great today. What are some things you've had to overcome physically? And you
I
can
think
tell us right after this commercial break, because then that way I give you a chance to think about it. Because life goes in so many directions, right? And you're like, what direction do I go in? Do I go here? Do I go here? So right after this commercial break, we're going to talk with Carlos Gladden, and he's going to tell us some physical things he's had to overcome as well to become who he is today. So today's episode, everyone, is also sponsored by Silver Shield Security. Silver Shield Security is a state-of-the-art equipment that they offer to put into your home. They have great customer service and they're eager to serve your family. So make sure that you reach out to Silver Shield Security today. They're silvershield-security.com, 704-440-4688, and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. So we're going to learn more about them, and then we're going to hear about some of your physical challenges, and then we're going to get caught up to where you are today right after this break.
It's not just another day, it's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, we're back talking with Carlos Gladden. Carlos, tell us some of the things that you had to experience physically and had to overcome, because I know you went through a lot of trauma in that area as well.
Yeah, fast track to I'm probably 20 years old. I finally got through the molestation. I got through all this stuff. And then at the age of 15, I was dealing with health issues at an early age. So my health issues started at an early age. I was around 15 years old. And I remember eating a chocolate candy bar. I remember I had my first heart murmur attacks. It felt like 6 heart attacks, like I was being stabbed in my chest. So my healthy issues started way when I was like in my teens. So fast track, I'm 15 years old. I finally got in trouble. I realized I had power of my decisions. I changed my life completely at age 15 years old, which is unheard of. That means at 15 years old, I took responsibility. At 15 years old, I took responsibility for my life. Got my life in order completely. I became 21. Things going great. And then after that, I'm working for Walmart one day and I just collapsed. But the crazy part was, I remember having dreams months ago of seeing my body being rolled out of an actual on a chair, on a stretcher. Like I can literally watch myself. And I remember August 8th, 2008, it happened. I remember when I collapsed, I felt the last swoop of my lungs. I felt the last swoop of air leave my lungs just like that. Like it was sucked out of my body. And then that was before I came. That was before I came to the quest. That was before I came to the rock. So No, I was at a rock before then.
Mm.
And then and then after that, that's when everything happened. My whole everything went down, my health went down. It was unknown for years. The condition is called FND, but for like,
what is it called?
It's called FND, functional neurological disorder.
Functional. I'm gonna write that down. Functional neurological disorder. Okay.
With weakness and paralysis on my right side. With weakness, paralysis on my right side, and numbness and right side weakness. So it was just my condition was discovered around 2019, where for like from saying 2008 up to like my 2019, it was unknown for years. So I had to go through those rough patches believe it or not, I went to 7 years of depression. Even at the rock, I was going through heavy depression.
Now, I do remember that at some points we talked about it. Obviously, I would never bring that up without you bringing it up. But I'm so grateful that you've gotten through that part of your life. And so for you to experience physical paralysis, molestation, and all of the things that you've experienced, God has really worked a miracle in your life, right?
Yes, he has.
And now you're still here standing in your right mind with the activity of your limbs. You're not paralyzed anywhere, are you?
I'm still numb every day. I'm grateful to. I'm still numb. I hear about healing, but I remember going through the Bible per se, and when talking about the needle in the camel's eye and everything else, even when Jesus blinded, Saul, King Paul. And it's interesting because people talk about physical healing. But I look at people in the world today and, God, Jesus will heal you. What we forget about, and what my journey has taught me, is that even though I may not ever get healed physically, I've been healed spiritually and mentally from this. Like I've overcome it. Sometimes I look at a person who has cancer, they never get healed, but they're the happiest. Why? Because they've been healed spiritually and mentally from their condition. And we forget about story because we forget about the spiritual and mental healing. We always focus on the physical healing. But what about the mental, spiritual healing that we're supposed to get from God itself? The thing is, if you put the Trinity, physical, mental, and spiritual healing, yes, we will always have physical elements, but we have to overcome it mentally and spiritually. And to this experience, I've accepted that. I've literally accepted that. I've accepted I will never ever get healed physically, but I also know I'm healed spiritually and mentally from it. So I'm okay with it. I'm a walking testimony.
You are a walking testimony, and God is so good.
I should not be walking right now. So I've learned that my life is a walking testimony.
Well, you know what? I have to take a quick break because I want everyone that's on to hear me for a second. Carlos Gladden is a walking testimony. He has functional neurological disorder, and he's here to tell his story. The second half of this show, he's going to be talking about a business that he owns and that he has helped pull so many people from all walks of life together. But what I want to do right now, and it's a brief break because I have one of my mentors, Les Brown, is on, and he's talking right now to Dr. Christian, who's actually walking from Ohio to Washington, D.C. This man was smashed in his face by a boulder that was thrown on an overpass. And I want to share this. I want us to see this words of encouragement that he's giving on my friend's show for a second. We're going to come right back with Carlos Gladden and hear some more of your story. Let's see if I can get this feed in right quick. Okay, here it is. Can y'all hear that?
He does not have to be his companion.
Can you hear that? Okay.
I hear it.
Two of them have committed. Where two or three are gathered in my name, I will be among you.
share this with you. You can go to his Face of Him, or you can also go to his Face of Forgiveness Walk landing page and connect with him. We have a myriad of ways that you can connect with him. So please take the opportunity in the time of the opportunity to connect, be connected, get connected, and know that someone loves you and someone cares about you. Y-O-U, just as you are. Amen. Awesome. So with no further ado, again, we thank each and every one of you. Again, thank you, Dr. Les Brown, and thank you, Dr. Christian, and Mr. Limitless, and everybody that supported him. Oh, there's my sister, Kim Jacobs. Kim Jacobs. Hey, Kim Jacobs, great to see you. Thanks to have you here. Thanks to have you here. So with no further ado, we're going to say farewell to you. We love you, we appreciate you, and have a great day.
All right, everybody. It was my response. It was my responsibility to wait. Oh, I got to get this off. It was my responsibility to get Les Brown onto Dr. Lotus Richey's show, because that gentleman was a boulder was tossed down into his face, and he is now doing a walk called the Face of Forgiveness, because the gentleman that tossed the boulder was going to get the death penalty, but Dr. Christian showed up and spared his life. So I just wanted to make sure that I showed my support for 2 or 3 seconds over on the Dr. Lotus Richey show. If you did not get to see the full episode, go back and watch the replay, because Les Brown, international motivational speaker, did get on and give words of encouragement to Dr. Christian on his walk from Ohio to Washington, D.C. So check out Dr. Lotus Richey Ignites show and check out the words of encouragement that Les Brown shared with him. Okay, Carlos, your story is simply amazing to me. For all that you've had to overcome to be able to be who you are today is simply mind-blowing to me. Carlos, I just sent you a friend request. Mr. Robert Archer, better known as the amazing Mr. Archer, wants to connect with you and be your friend.
I will connect with him after that. We got off the call. I will definitely connect with him.
Thank you. And the two of you will be able to uplift each other and edify each other. It definitely won't be any bullying going on, that's for sure. And yes, Ornetta Caldwell, we all love Les Brown. He's you got to be hungry. He knows the greatness that you have in you. He's a mentor. He's a godfather of two of my children. Yes, he's a blessing to the world. Okay, Annetta, okay, good. You could hear it. You could hear it. Yes. Sorry, I didn't get to get the whole thing. I was trying to balance 2 shows here, but we can go back and check it out. I did my best. Trust me, I was on the whole thing. Is Les backstage? Is he back? So I was doing all of this. But to God be the glory that he allows us to even be before kings and queens, and he puts us in high places to be able to even be exposed to opportunities like this. Carlos, speaking of exposure, God has exposed you to be the parent of some pretty amazing people. And I want you to talk to us about some of these special jewels in your life.
Yes, Kanisha, Kamaya, Karen Carlos Jr.
You are a daddy.
Yeah, they're the heir through the Gladden throne.
Woo! I gotta pull you back in, Cassandra, because you praising God too. Like you know what? Anytime you have the backstage people praising God with you, it's a beautiful show. Oh my gosh!
Beautiful family.
Family's
Carlos.
Amazing.
And yes, they are your heirs. That is amazing. Selwyn and I are both listening in today, and we are so encouraged.
You be surprised. Not many people know I have kids that's close to me, actually, because I don't put my kids, I'm a private person. So I don't really say much about myself. I don't put my private life out there. I don't put what I got going out there. So most people don't even know I have kids. They're like, I didn't have kids, Carlos. Yeah, because I don't put them out there. You know, I
had his permission to put him out today, y'all. So don't think I just did it.
I'm still involved with other stuff that I have to be involved with. So I'm very protected to make sure I don't, put them out there the wrong way. And to make sure they're protected. So I try to make sure I protect them the best way possible. And so if a person has never met my kids, they're not family. That's how I put it.
They're not family. They ain't met your kids, right? I met your kids, and I've
exactly. So it's a difference. People that remember their kids, they're not really. They're like, oh, you're not that close to me. That means that you're a associate of mine. So there's people who know me for 10 years. I knew you had kids, Carlos. Man, why don't you? And the thing is, my kids don't care if they don't ever meet you. They like me. They nonchalant, like, Dad, I don't care about that, Dad.
My kids are like that too. They're like, it's okay. We never cross paths. I'm good.
So
that's so funny, Carlos. So they're like you. They kind of kick back, relax, reserved.
Yeah, they chill, relax. They chill.
But they have a great daddy, that's for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Listen, everybody, thank you, Cassandra, for being so supportive backstage, and you and Pastor Selwyn and their pastor and pastor's wife at Servant Church that's here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. They're going to be doing a big launch soon, and they will be coming on as a guest here on the Kim Jacobs Show so we can launch this church service.
And Carlos is just this week, he agreed to help us with some things. So we appreciate that. I know.
All right.
Yes. Regroup. We thank you.
All right. Thank you, Cassandra. So we're talking with Carlos Gladden, and Carlos Gladden is the owner, and we didn't talk about that yet. We're going to talk about it now and learn everything there is to know about his business, 360 Degrees Group. So if you have questions about the business that Carlos Gladden runs, make sure that you ask them throughout the rest of this broadcast. Also, many of you want to know how you can support the Kim Jacobs Show. The Kim Jacobs Show is specifically, first of all, I encourage you to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show. If you haven't done so, take a moment to do that on YouTube and just simply turn your notification bell that's off to the right, hit all, and you'll get notified every time we come on live Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Another way that you can support, just like those programs that are out there that provide original program content on PBS and different other channels like that are heavily dependent on community support. That's what the Kim Jacobs Show is. We're depending on the support and the financial contributions of viewers like yourselves. So without your online contribution, this show can't air Monday through Friday, every weekday at 11 o'clock a.m. That's virtually impossible. So make sure that you support in one of these different avenues, whether it be just through PayPal, through Cash App, through Venmo, becoming a Patreon, whatever way you want to support to keep the programming alive. And you'll continue to have guests like Carlos Gladden that's here with us today. All right. So right after this commercial break, we're going to come back and we're going to hear more from Carlos Gladden. Today's episode is sponsored by attorney Charles Everidge with Hunter Everidge Law Firm, and they are eager to serve you if you're dealing with disability, SSI. Say you've been denied your disability claim. Don't give up. Contact attorney Charles Everidge and the Hunter Everidge Law Firm, 704-377-9157. And you can let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show did send you their way. Carlos, when we come back, we're going to check into our studio audience to see if they have any more questions and comments. And we're going to hear about your new, it's not really new, but your business, 360 Degrees Group when we come back. Is that fair?
Yes, that's fair.
All right. Look forward to it.
I'm attorney Charles Everidge. I started out representing insurance companies until my father was seriously injured at work. 4 of his fingers were amputated. Our family went through a lot, so I know what you're going through as an injured worker. If you've been hurt on the job, call me now. I'll fight to get the workers' comp benefits you may deserve. I'll fight for you like family. Put my experience to work for you. Call 704-457-5000, the first call for injured workers.
All right, everyone, and we are back. I do also want to take one more commercial break and let you know that we have Lamb Funeral Home, who's one of our episode sponsors as well. But what I think I like most about the Lamb Funeral Home is that they are located in Concord, North Carolina, but they're certified in all 50 states. They're eager to have their family serve yours. That's their motto, our family serving yours. And you can reach them at 704-782-3011. They have over 28 years of funeral home experience. And Mr. Terry Lamb is excited because he gets the opportunity as a veteran to pour everything that he knows into you. If you are an adult dependent of a veteran, if you are a spouse of a veteran, or you are going to get so many benefits when it comes to funeral home expenditures. So make sure that benefits, I should say, funeral home benefits. So make sure that you reach out to them. They'll talk to you about what to expect, immediate needs, and funeral pre-planning. Their phone number again is 704-782-3011. And do what? Let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. All right, Carlos, let's check into some of these studio audience comments. And then Sonia Van said, that really blessed me. Yes. Ernetta Caldwell said, I can hear it. I love Les Brown. God, Carlos, I just sent you a friend request. Beautiful family, Ernetta Caldwell said. She said, you have a beautiful, beautiful family.
Thank you.
I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody else's. Yes, mental healing. So needed, mental healing. And with this being mental health awareness time too, that people heavily focus on that area, what advice would you give people before you talk about your business for those that are dealing with mental health crises?
My advice is that mental health is an everyday walk of life.
Right.
So it's important that we focus on the daily healing of mental health and just finding ways to trying to bring that peace. Like I have better peace now. It took me a while to have that mental peace with my physical condition. But when I get up in the morning, I have peace with it. I'm okay. Like, I'm walking, I'm breathing, and that we all struggle with mental health, but we have to find that place with God, Jesus Christ. We have to find that place based on what religion might serve. You have to find that. Like, there's this song called Closer by this artist. I can't remember his name, but he says, "It's just hold me in your arms." And it's saying you have to find that place with God where that closeness with God. Some call him universe, some call him creator. I don't know what they call him. But we have to find that place with him where you have complete peace. And that's a journey you have to take on your own. Good. You can't expect nobody to take that journey for you. You can get help, you can get psychology, you can get mental health therapy, but ultimately it's up to you to find that place of inner peace.
Right. I agree with you. And I think I know I can only speak for myself. I can never speak for anybody else. I know when I'm struggling mentally. I know personally when I'm struggling and I'm like, Kim, you know what? Just get some help outside of yourself if you know that you are having a difficult time dealing with whatever circumstances is being put before you at that time. It doesn't mean that, I have to be on medication or anything like that. But if I did need to be on medication, which I'm not, but if I did need to, I would, because I would just be like, that might be what I need. And it's nothing wrong, in my opinion. It doesn't make me less than a person or anybody else less than a person if that's what you needed.
I live by 4 principles right now. And I've had these principles the last 7 years. Acceptance, accountability, responsibility, perseverance. I accept everything around me. I accept everything I go through. I accept everything completely. Accountability. I'm accountable for my actions or my decisions. I'm accountable for my life. I'm responsible for what I've been given to manage to God. And also, I'm committed to persevering no matter what.
You're just inspiring so many people. If you have not tagged at least 10 people to hear this gentleman's story, I encourage you after this broadcast even to go ahead and start a watch party, to share it on LinkedIn Live, share it on iHeartRadio, share it on Facebook Live, share it on YouTube, Share this story of courage and greatness with anyone that just needs to be inspired on their journey. Today, we're talking with Carlos. He said, find that place with God. Acceptance, his 4 principles: acceptance, accountability, perseverance, and responsibility. Those are 4 principles that he lives by. I am so impressed with what I'm hearing. Let's see. What was your turning point when you started to seek God, is what Ornetta Caldwell wanted to know.
I think for a while I was in a dark place. I had to look at myself and see the strength that I have completely in myself. And sometimes we're always looking outward for strength. But when God put us on this earth, he already gave us everything we needed inside already. So we have to dig deep inside completely in order to get the outcome we're looking for. So God wants us to seek inward, not outward. And that means you must first separate yourself from anything materialistic from this world and put your focus on God and put your focus on yourself sometimes to be a better person. And that's not being selfish. This is
right.
That's like putting yourself first for that point of reference, that point of time to make sure you're better, to be better for others.
I love what you're saying. I love it. I hope that answered your question, Ornetta Caldwell. And she actually is an author, and she talks about healing from a broken heart and how God had took her through her journey of a healing heart. And she's at one of our Freestyle Friday experts. So we're going to be hearing a clip from her on this Friday as well. And her story is absolutely amazing. So anyway, that's some really good information that you just shared. And talk to us about 360 Degrees Group, please.
I started 360 Degrees Group. Before 360, there was Manna. There was young people. 2011, I registered business. There was Manna. IT Solutions. 2013. There was Manna, and then 360 was birthed 2015 as a concept. It became actual in 2018. And so I have been doing technology since I was in Command & Conquer, playing computer games. I was doing like basically, online stuff for like, I remember when I was for Walmart corporate, I basically was involved with them actually creating a recycling program, and their PSP program was this personal sustainability. So it was more like also mentorship program.
Right.
So we basically helped them create their own sustainability. And also after that, I had to rely on my experience to create the business. And so I was also doing IT, running all the software for the company. So I was doing IT security, IT software stuff before I was going to take my own company.
Right.
I didn't recognize the experience until like maybe a couple years ago. Like I was doing technology already, and it's just interesting because 2018 360 is born now. I've been in business for a while, 3 years, and I remember the first time I started my business, I turned $100 to $24,000. I was good, but then that year, because I was still dealing with health issues, my health collapsed again. So somehow my body could not handle the physical pressure of what it was going through physically. So I had to find ways of navigating success lane a little bit. And now we're in a better place with partners, Jay Mattier, Anthony Shipman, you guys, you and your husband, and everybody else who support 360. I want to thank them because it took me about a good 7 years to get to the point where I have actually built the real infrastructure around 360. We have a lot of corporate infrastructure, from business printing to technology infrastructure to basically keeping our platform affordable for people to start their own businesses, everything else. And those are larger, medium, small companies.
That's really good.
And we focus on business systems, online systems, pretty much, from a different capacity, and building in real infrastructure.
So my question is, with the 360s Degrees Group, what can people do to connect with you and to be able to utilize your services?
For one, people are asking how much a service costs. Well, with 360, I don't have a service price point. We first find out what you're looking to do, and we go from there.
So you customize everything.
Yes, we do everything is customized with 360. Small business system is all priced out. That platform, we have different platforms they can actually go through.
Okay.
But depending what they're looking for, that's how we go. That's how we go about the actual organization helping the business.
Well, I want to take a moment, everyone, because Carlos Gladden is just like a mastermind. He's brilliant beyond his years. And so I want to show you his website, and then that'll give you a flavor of what the 360 Degrees Group does, and also introduce you to some of his team members as well. And so this, is this it? No, I did the wrong one. Give me a second.
It's a bot. It's a bot chat there too. You can take off, hit X.
Oh, that's it. That's it right there, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I like that. I want to show that. I was like, hey, did I do the wrong thing? I was going to say, what's all of that on there? I didn't see. Okay, let me see. Because I had already been to your site before. I was like, that is the site. What's happening? Okay. His phone number there is 704-264-0537. Hours of operations. If you want to email them, is sales@360degreesgroup.com. And as you can see, when you come on the site, there's a chat box right there. So if you want to ask a question, go ahead and ask your questions right there, and definitely learn more about the technology, the strategy, the partnership, the mission of the 360 Degrees Group. Now, again, all of this is owned by Carlos Gladden, a young man that has come from molestation, that has overcome that and kept his mental health intact to the point where he was able to then deal with functional neurological disorder and all kinds of things that could have wiped him from the face of this earth, and at least left him down and out and just feeling like the weight of the world was on his shoulder, and he not be able to perform at this level of being able to own 360 Degrees Group.
And now we have a multiple platform of small business systems, direct human engagement. We're launching a new platform called Biz Talk TV. Then of course you see the shirt here. This is one of our little brand shirts. So
wait, let me put you over here. Let me put you front and center. Give me a second. I'll put you big over here. Did it go over there? Okay, let me stop the sharing for a second so people can see the t-shirt.
Of course, the shirt, the new shirt, 360, the new design.
All right, 360
and
degrees.
So we have a new platform we launched. Of course, we have Small Business Systems, which is a platform that we're actually that firstly. Kim Jacobs, she's actually a part of the team with Small Business Systems 360, which it has Small Business Systems TV, and we're launching a new one off for actually regular entrepreneurs who are looking just to share their story and get online and really create an impact. So now it's really building a new platform out just for regular entrepreneurial business owners, people who have their own story, and be able to actually put it on a platform where anybody can go watch it and testimonies, information like that.
Well, that's awesome. I want to share your team with people too. Let me pull that up. This is some of the leadership team from 360 Degrees Group. These are professional individuals from around the community that many people look up to, admire, and they're all a part of Carlos Gladden's vision here. His leadership team consists of him as the CEO, Jay Madier as the CFEI president, Kawana McGill, chief of Platinum Security. And I've heard these people present cybersecurity and things that they're talking about. When Carlos Gladden does a conference virtually, you want to be in the house because it's some information that you're going to walk away with that you did not know. Paul Curtis, president of DMV in Northern Region, Ajay Nepant, chief of nonprofit development, my brother Javon Jackson, the chief media officer, Ashrita Kancheria, and she's a marketing specialist, and Sajal Baral, and he's the web developer and media intern. Their services consist of platform management and development, project management, technology infrastructure, IT security, merchant services, cloud infrastructure. If you think that you need some help when it comes to business technology, reach out to Carlos Gladden. Let him and his team put together a quote for you. He's the CEO of 360 Degrees Group. Carlos Gladden with Gladden Business Group at gmail.com is his personal email. Gladden Business Group at gmail.com. What's any other words of advice that you could share with people, Carlos, today that may want to start a business of their own and they don't even know where to begin?
When I started a business, I started for $100, and all I had was $100 and my energy. So one thing I would like to share with people is understanding that money is the world's currency, but time and energy is God's currency.
Yes.
So no matter
dropping some knowledge,
you have to be willing to commit your time and energy. Many times you want, I want to make $1 million or $500,000 a year. Well, that money you made for your business is actually the result of your time and energy. So for people who want to start businesses, get a brand new business or expand business, understand that energy and time are your most important two currencies. Without it, you have nothing. And that you have to be determined to move forward. To me, I believe I have a brand called Courage and Greatness. And I believe we all have courage and greatness in us. But it takes courage to be great.
Yes.
The courage to constantly push and be trying to push through when you met with adversity.
Each of us have courage and greatness. You've heard it right here from Carlos Gladden.
And that is a clothing line too. I do have a clothing line called Courage and Greatness, actually under 360. You haven't seen the shirts yet, and that's a different discussion.
All right.
But we have the actual shirts, Courage and Greatness, which is carlosgladden.com, which is my actual name, actually.
Excellent, Carlos. I personally have just learned so much from you today myself, and I'm quite honored that you've been my guest today. Anybody that is interested in learning more about Carlos Gladden and everything that he's offering, he's going to do customized services for you. So don't call and just say, "Hey, what's the price?" Don't worry about that. Get this man and his team. It's not just him, but he will assign who needs to be assigned to your project from his team to customize quotes for you. And he does excellent work. I can tell you that for sure. Sonia Vaughn said that this really just blessed her. Yes, yes, yes. And then let's see some other comments. I love that. Justine Hillier said, it takes courage to be great. It takes courage to be great. That's not, you can't beat that right there. Carlos Gladden.
I take it Les Brown. I remember Les Brown saying there's courage and greatness in you. And I look at my life as the example of courage and greatness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is courage and greatness in you, Carlos Gladden, and I am so honored to know you and can't wait to see what the future holds for you. You truly inspired us today here on this episode. I do want to encourage any of you that have not participated in this piece of things. I offer a class that is for each of you that are interested in starting your own show from scratch. Some people say, I want to start my own show, but I don't know where to begin. I offer an online course that you can just work at your own pace. And I've put this in the comment section for you. Click on that and you can get 8 weeks worth of content that you can work at your own pace. And you will see me working with some of the other talk show hosts that I've helped to create and that I've helped develop on their journey. And it is a great experience. So we as a team have utilized our skill set to be able to pour it into other people to help them create their own show. Some people want to have 6 one-hour sessions with me in addition to the online course that they're getting. You can do that as well. So there are 2 different options. Work at your own pace, or you can also just work at your own pace and have 6 weeks with me, 1 hour per week. And we meet virtually. So you can look at those 2 options. I'll be happy to include you in this upcoming masterclass. It's only a few seats that are left because I'm only one person and can only work with a certain amount of people at a time. So feel free to select one of those slots, okay, that's still left. Carlos, what's your closing comments and thoughts for the studio?
My closing comments is there's courage and greatness in you. That's my closing comment. There is courage and greatness in you. And in order to achieve that love, you must first believe in yourself.
That's it.
And never give up and constantly be determined to move forward against any adversity against any adversity that actually come your way. That's my closing comments.
There's courage and greatness in each and every one of you, and know that that's the case, and don't even dare undermine yourself or have anybody else question it, because there is courage and greatness in you. Now, tomorrow I have a breast cancer awareness episode that's going to be taking place right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. You don't want to miss that. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have a survivor of breast cancer here, as well as, and her name is Kishla Moore and Ricky Fairley. We're going to be talking with them tomorrow. She is the owner of the Black Breast Cancer Alliance, Ricky Fairley. And you don't want to miss that episode because it's going to be extremely enlightening. So be sure to be in your virtual seats at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you for having me on the show. I know it's a long time coming. You've asked a couple of times, like, I guess I need some time.
Well, you finally made it here, and I am grateful.
But that's my message. My message for anybody for business is the story of courage and greatness.
Courage and greatness. You heard it right from Carlos Gladden right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. CEO at 360 Degrees Group. Inspire everyone by blessing them with the gift of hearing today's episode. I'll see you all tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our breast cancer awareness episode. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.